All right, welcome in everyone to the weekly reading. So we are tapping in here to the week starting today, which is the day I'm filming it, Monday, April 21st. So we just had Easter. We had a great weekend. Hopefully you all enjoyed your Easter time with family, friends, whatever you ended up doing. So yeah, the weekly reading here. So I do this every week. If you're new, this is to just kind of, as I said, ask. I usually ask my guides, higher dimensional beings that are connected to me, to provide information and guidance to the collective that can help you guys in the best way. So this is for the collective. So this is general, right? So take what resonates, leave what doesn't here. And we'll just get some information that can best help you and give you some insight, some awareness, help you expand your consciousness so that you can navigate through your life in a more conscious way. And that's the key for tarot. It's a tool to be more aware and conscious of your life, of you, of what you want, how you want to navigate things. So it's all a positive support system. So let's kick off. I usually just hit a couple astrology things for the week. So 3 things here. So on the 23rd, we have the sun, which is in Taurus. We're in Taurus season, squaring Pluto. So that's going to stir up our relationships a bit. With that Pluto energy, that's, Scorpio energy, that's about change, transformation, and it's really going to bring clarity and make us be really honest with ourselves and others around what you're willing to, you could say, commit to, what you're willing to, I hate to say tolerate, because we don't want to tolerate anything in life. What you're willing to, I guess, continue to experience, let's say that, or what needs to change, right? Whether it's how do we implement change, if something needs to go, if you need to walk away from something, that's going to kind of get stirred up on that 23rd. On the 24th, Venus conjuncts Saturn. That's also going to bring up there's a stirring of energy this week. It's kind of going to stir up any unresolved stories, especially around relationships, our relationship with money, not just people, but also our relationship with money and abundance, and any unresolved stories that are still within our subconscious mind, any unresolved trauma, is going to get stirred up, and it's really asking us to be visible, to look at our patterns. What is patterns in our life that we want to change, that continue to pop up? This is really a resolution point with Venus now going direct. So kind of look back at the last couple months, especially when Venus went retrograde, and kind of look at maybe some patterns definitely during the retrograde cause you to kind of re-review your life and look at things. But this is an opportunity to kind of stop the pattern, to kind of integrate any trauma that's continuing to impact and be a driving force unconsciously in your life. And then on the 26th, we have Mars is going to oppose Pluto. So that's another kind of conflicting energy, pretty intense, that one. Again, more conflicts could arise with that energy, but since the beginning of the year, it's been a huge, I almost feel like we've been in this, I've kind of said, washing machine of clearing out what's not working, cleansing, going through a big transformation, really a big integration. And we're now with all the planets going direct, we're at a pivotal point where we're really standing in our power. We've learned a lot. We have more awareness and wisdom about especially old conflicts, old trauma, old patterns. And now with this, Mars opposing Pluto, we can approach this conflict in a new way. And that's what it's really asking of us, is to look at things that haven't maybe been repaired or resolved or integrated. And how do we use our new wisdom to approach it differently, to kind of, again, pour water on the fire that is the conflict. So that's going to be on the 26th. So we kind of have like a boom, boom, boom sort of energy there. But the supportive energy is that all the planets are going direct. They just started to go direct, I think, as of, I can't think of the date, but it was the weekend before last. They're going to continue to go direct through May 4th. So that's going to be a supportive energy to really help us make change, to push through any sort of hurdles right now, or like I said, that energy that's going to stir up maybe a little bit more, conflict, or just anything like from the past or old things. All right, so let's go ahead and start with some oracle cards for the week here. So we have 6th chakra, which is the third eye, and that is tied to Archangel Metatron. So there's that like seeing things in a different way, right? Our third eye has really been activated through what we've been through, and we're seeing things differently. We're seeing things from a new perspective. And walking away, there's that, hey, do we need to walk away from conflict too? That's a key. But here's that Venus, the Sun in Taurus squaring Pluto. This is about like, what do we need to walk away from? What do we need to change? We are opening the door to anything that's kept us kind of stuck, right? Our old belief systems, situations that kept us stuck and aren't helping us to expand. And we're freeing ourselves from those restrictions here. Financial constraints. So this in particular seems to be around for a lot of people. Things that have caused financial constraints, right? And I just use the word constraint. We've been constrained in some aspect. This could be with money, abundance. This could also do with our limiting beliefs, right? With all that energy this week. So any limiting beliefs, I kind of feel like it specifically says finances. I do feel like that's going to be a big thing, but I also just in general, any limiting beliefs that is not bringing abundance in our life. And we're leaving all that. We're shutting the gate on that. We're kind of deconstructing ourselves, right? And that's the biggest thing with that is seeing things differently and really seeing the limiting beliefs, being aware of the lesson and being able to change it. Really big, clear messages this week here. Let's go into the tarot here, get some more detail. So we have 6 of Swords, same sort of energy. We're moving forward. That all the direct planets are kind of, again, that supportive energy that's moving us out of unease, out of disruption or difficulty or challenges into more, easy waters to navigate. We're moving into being able to also navigate anything that comes up in a better way. We have more wisdom. We have more skills around how to navigate these emotional waters especially, but also anything that triggers us, I feel. The Knight of Pentacles, it's been a slow go. There hasn't been much movement, I feel, so far this year. It started to, creep up when we had Mars go direct. But right now is the time that things are going to start to speed up. And I feel like, things have been slow go, right? Very diligently, just following the path, trying to gain the wisdom and the lessons that each experience is bringing to us. And there's something really, too, about relationships here. this could be about your home base or grounding in. That's Taurus energy, right? Really, Taurus is a very grounded energy. We're in Taurus season. So there's something about where do we want to call home? Where do we want to ground? Maybe we've been really diligently trying to get to a place, maybe moving houses, or just relationships, or getting to a place where we feel very confident and strong and happy in our situation here. This could also be tied to, again, finances. We haven't been able to fully realize a dream because of maybe our finances too have been tight. Oops. Six of Cups and the 8, we're working through it. So this is around, I feel like, again, the beliefs, some things from the past. We've been doing the work. We've been diligent again, right? Diligent about doing the work around our past, our limiting beliefs, our traumas, the things that our family has really passed on to us. But it's time. We're doing the work, and we're shifting out of the old traditional ways of thinking. We're committing to a new path. We're, these ideas, these old traditional ideas, beliefs, dogmas, programs have really caused a lot of emotional suffering and challenge for us through our lifetimes. And that's what our family, ancestral karma, our ancestral, we keep passing these things, whether it really at a root, grief, sorrow, sadness, depression, and it could be because of the limiting beliefs. But now we're coming into our own here with the 9 of Pentacles, where we're building a new authentic us. We're approaching life in a new way that's authentically us, instead of what others have told us life should be, told us what we need to believe, told us how we need to live our lives. And we're shifting out of that. And there could be something here around also grieving, grieving the time we lost with certain beliefs or living certain lifestyles that we were stuck in. And then the last one here is 10 of Wands. So we're closing a chapter in our lives. This could be our entire life so far. We're actually starting a new path here, one that's going to be more freeing, more authentic, more abundant. And this, I like this, the Empress here. So we're innately growing, we're fertilizing and manifesting new things that are aligned with the new path here. So love all this. So if you feel like you've been through a challenging period of your life, challenging times, I do like this of, it was work. It was challenge to do the work, the internal work, the outer work, to help get us out of the challenges into like this. This is a lot different than, actively, this is, rowing a boat can be just physically challenging. You have to physically try to get through it, right? Where the Empress just naturally is in her alignment and is naturally just manifesting ease, manifesting abundance. So let's keep going. We have the 4 of Swords, the High Priestess, and the 10 of Pentacles. So I love this. This is about healing, and this is about aligning. The High Priestess, this is about really spiritual information and wisdom, really knowing now and having that higher perspective and wisdom that's helping you to heal. And now it's a time of like basking in some new abundance. You're moving into a period of more ease. Any financial constraints, I feel like, are going to shift. And even in this picture, it's like we have the family ancestors on the wall behind us. And it's like they're supporting us. And we've now come to a place of there's that kind of, that part of the path where we're integrating the old and the new, but we're creating a new path. One that is different, that we can pass forward to our family members, our children, our pets even, or just our lives, to the collective, and one that's a lot more restful and supportive and just healing. So we have the Knight of Cups. So we're healing the heart. We're healing our relationship with our own, the core of our programming around love and relationships. And we're now able to open our hearts in a new way to manifest in potentially new love, new connections here for some of you. Three of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. So to me, this is about letting go of control. And we're rebuilding in a new way here. We're in the middle here with the Three of Pentacles. It's like we're rebuilding, we're working with other people in a way in our lives that we're building a better foundational, stabilized life. And this could be around love relationships. Like we have new people coming in that are willing to both equally put in the work and effort to create the kind of life that you both really want, of our dreams here. I just want to get more around. So we have the Moon, the Ace of Swords here. So this is the clarity, the truth coming out. Two of Pentacles. So it's almost like this is the old patterns, and we have to, this week, there's going to be a little trigger of the old, I feel. We got the Six of Cups too. There's that re-triggering a bit of things from the past, and I almost feel like they're not coming out because they're going to control, and that's the path you're on. I feel like you're on a new path. And I feel like you're able to see this now and see the reason why you're being triggered with the High Priestess here. And again, approaching it in a new way. One where you're just not engaging. I feel like part of the guidance this week is to not engage and to almost just, you know, don't engage. Just step back, be the objective person, because it's not like, to me, it's not like a real situation that you have to actually stand up and fight or try and manipulate. And I don't want to say you're don't manipulate, but you know, part of the Five of Swords is like engaging and trying to win a battle here. So don't try to approach anything that pops up this week as I need to win this, because I feel like it's a little deceptive here with the Moon. So there's a little deception in the air that, you know, could cause you to see a situation and think that this is like a hardcore situation that I need to, because there are battles in life, right? Where it's like, sometimes the guidance is, yes, this is one to fight for. This is one to stand in your truth and don't back down. But I feel like this situation, it's almost like a blip on the radar. And I think once this kind of blows over, you're going to be like, oh, it was nothing. Good thing I didn't, you know, engage too hardcore in this. Because if you try and control the outcome of this one, I feel like, again, it could end up spinning a bit for you. But it could create some uncertainty in some sort of situation or environment. But again, I feel like it's saying, let's get one more card here. The King of Cups. So this could be somebody tied to this that has a lot of emotion that they display here. And I think it tends to, for a lot of you, maybe, you know, if you're in your emotions here, again, it could cause, there's some confusion here. It creates a scenario of a lot of confusion with the Moon and the Seven of Cups. And someone really wants like something their way. They want it a certain way, and I could see you wanting it a different way. That's the two of Pentacles here. One person wants this, another person wants that. And it could get a little, you know, foggy here, and that's where I think the guidance is to kind of don't engage, don't fight this one, because it's kind of, it's not a big thing. Where it could appear from to be big. So what's the house here? The Four of Wands. What's going on with the Four of Wands and the Six of Cups? Ace of Wands. The Lovers, a decision here. Okay, we have two aces. So I think there is a big opportunity here that's going to come up this week, kind of maybe moving into, I'm also getting the beginning of May, around the first week of May as well. I do feel like something could pop up that really is like maybe an opportunity that I feel like you really are feeling it. Like you're like, yes, I'm feeling this. I want this. Or like there could be something around a house or a move. Something's feeling very passionate. Something really like lights the fire under you. And it's like you want to do this or you want to make a decision about this. And the sun was standing all alone, so I had to grab that card. Yeah, there's something that's really like, oh my God, this is special. This is something like, it's almost like you come across a house that you're like, I want this house. And maybe you've had this goal, but it's like, again, it's been slow going. Maybe you didn't have the finances to support it. But now all of a sudden something just lands in your lap that's like this opportunity. And what are you going to do about it here? There's some uncertainty around this. But again, I feel like there's a specific situation that pops up. Don't let another person derail you or a situation derail you. I think you're going to be really enlightened this week. And you're just going to know. Like, it's like you come across something, you're like, yes, this aligns with me. You could have someone else that tries to kind of derail you, I feel. So just watch out for that. So what's the ultimate guidance? I'm going to grab another deck of cards just to see the ultimate guidance here around the situation. The Star. Yeah, something, I feel like you're getting a wish this week, like something that you wanted for a long time with this Knight of Pentacles. You've been wanting something for a long time. There's been some constraints in your life that you haven't been able to acquire this or, obtain this goal. And this is a karmic, it's almost like, again, divine timing, the wheels of justice. Like there's like a karmic point where we hit where things just change and it finally is able to come in. And something is really healing here. Four of Swords. This is really a healing thing that's come, because right when all of a sudden we're approached with like a wish that we always wanted that's came to us, there's something that it also brings a healing. Because I feel like this situation, whatever it is, has been challenging for you. There's been some constraints in your some patterns that just continue. There could be some stagnancy, and finally, it's like a shift happens that brings in something that you've really wanted. So I love this. And the guidance here too is to don't get just like derailed from your wish or your ultimate like Northern Star. Like, don't feel like maybe you've always had a wish and then life has gotten to a point where you kind of feel like maybe I'll never have that. Maybe it's not just something I should continue to focus on. And I do feel like you should. It's saying you should. That justice is coming. If things have been really challenging and busy and just like, there's a time too of rest and rejuvenation here. Maybe there's like a vacation on the horizon. So this is good stuff. Good stuff this week. There's just that blips of like, don't let the energies derail you or totally pull you off course. Because there's going to be opportunities where you're going to be faced with some, again, with the energies on the 23rd through the 26th especially. There's going to be some kind of the re-triggering of some old things, the old situations or people kind of dynamics here. And it's like, just don't get fully engaged in those. All right. I'm going to leave you with that, everyone. Everyone have an amazing week. Share this with anyone you feel that it can help. Hit that like button if you like the reading. Yeah, we're ending the month of April here. I'm working on the monthly zodiac sign readings for May, so watch out for those. Those will start coming next week. So thanks for joining in, and I'll see you in the next reading.